4th and 11. Got to get to the 9.
Gonna chip it here. Some guys inside.
Here's Jones throwing. Catch is made. Did he get the feet down?
Is he in?
They say yes. Let's take that second foot.
That was a perfect throw. He just didn't. Is that the second time Booty did that today?
He had one other one on the far side. You're right.
Yep, and that might be part of the reason you lose a football game.
If the Patriots' Week 1 performance did one thing, it reminded fans of what made Tom Brady so special. And ultimately, it was the comebacks. Because the Patriots failed to do that, and they had 2 chances to come back, but ultimately they fell short to the Philadelphia Eagles. So we sort of do a rundown of this game. In the first quarter, the Patriots literally looked like the worst team ever. They looked like a team that was tanking for Caleb Williams. A team that might finish 2-15. I mean, I was flabbergasted watching that first quarter. The Mac Jones interception, which by the way, was Mac Jones' fault. Sure, the receiver could have made the catch, but it was a bad throw. And let's please not start comparing it to that Thursday Night Football Pat Mahomes pick 6. That was not Pat Mahomes' fault. This was definitely Mac Jones' fault. And then Ezekiel Elliott couldn't take care of the ball, fumbled it, and you blink your eyes and all of a sudden the Patriots are down 16-0. On Tom Brady Day, no less. It was going to be one of those things where that one ceremony would be the only good thing that came of the game. There would be no other positive takeaways. I was very sure of it. But let's give the Patriots some credit because the team fought back. And my jaw even dropped when I saw Mac Jones complete a pass that was more than 8 yards. I'm sure the scoreboard, the new giant scoreboard, really showed that one. But at the end of the day, the Patriots failed to win. They failed to come back. They failed to really win a game that they should have won. The Eagles were handing them that game. But they still failed. And now the Patriots look and they are 0-1 in the standings. So in terms of takeaways from this game, if we sort of start defensively, I was really, really impressed. I really was. I thought the defense the whole game was absolutely fantastic. You can't fault the defense for those early points. That was purely 100% on the offense with all that terrible, terrible field position from the turnovers. But the cornerbacks did a great job, containing Devonta Smith and A.J. Brown. And I really think Christian Gonzalez is going to be the real deal.
Going to stay up top. Oh, no, they're not. Look who comes up. It's Gonzalez.
The pass rush was good. It was nice to see Judon still good and, Josh Uche. So I was really, really encouraged. The defense played about as good as you could do. They really contained Jalen Hurts. So we all sort of knew that because even since Brady left, the defense has always been good. So it's not overly shocking. A Bill Belichick defense will always be good.
You heady, bro? Zoom ass. Kyle Arrington, Austria.
So if we turn it sort of to the offense now, let's start with Mac Jones. Because I actually thought Mac Jones played really, really well. It was probably the best game of his career. And yeah, that's, not saying much because it's Mac Jones, but I actually think it was the best game of his career. He had over 300 yards passing. And he had 3 touchdowns. I mean, I'm sort of used to with Mac Jones, like 140, a touchdown, and a pick. This was a very, very good stat line that any quarterback would have taken. That's just the truth. Mac Jones was good today. It reminded me a lot of that game last year against the Minnesota Vikings on Thanksgiving, where he showed some signs of life. He had some good zip on the ball. But ultimately, with Mac Jones, it always happens. There's always that untimely sack, and it's very, very frustrating. It'll be 2nd and 9, and the defense throws a blitz, and before you know it, Jones is on the ground, and it's 3rd and 17. It's definitely tough that Mac Jones is not all that mobile, especially in today's era where that seems to almost be a prerequisite of the position. So with the receivers, it was clear that it was an ever-revolving door of mid. There's no first option, we knew that, and that was pretty clear tonight. It was nice to see Kendrick Bourne playing well. I was glad. He's a very good player. He was great, but, Juju was okay. Douglas was okay. But you were missing that first option. It was so obvious. Those deep balls that Mac Jones threw that were actually pretty good. A DeAndre Hopkins goes and gets that. A Jerry Jeudy goes and gets that, but Bill Belichick felt like paying special teamers instead. And, in the modern era, it's very, very important to have a long snapper. Remember that. So what I will also say with the offense is I was pretty disappointed in Bill O'Brien's contributions. It felt very, very similar to last season in terms of the schemes and even the play calling to the degree. A lot of, quick passes, a lot of screens to running backs, running misdirections, and some sort of frustrating play calling that made me wonder if that, Matt Patricia, that awful dude, was still calling the plays. I mean, one moment in particular that I think all of us will remember is when they were on the 12 or whatever in the red zone. On 2nd and 3rd down, Bill O'Brien inexplicably called runs. So then Mac had to ultimately go for it on 4th down and failed to do it. And on a great drive, came away with 0 points. I mean, that is absolutely unacceptable. I thought there would be more play action. I was really disappointed in that. Because I do definitely believe that Mac Jones is good with play action. He did a great job with McDaniel's system 2 years ago. And I thought that Bill O'Brien was bringing that back, but quite honestly, you could have told me that Matt Patricia was calling at least some of the plays, and I would have believed you. I really would. But here's what was different, and it's very important, and why I'm still happy O'Brien's here regardless of what that, play calling and schemes ends up being, is the players clearly bought in. That was the difference. There was respect. There was respect from Mac Jones. He wasn't crying, "You're the worst, I hate you." He wasn't crying. Mac Jones had good body language. He had a good attitude, and that is everything. Bad attitude in the NFL, and you'll be out before you know it on the streets looking for a normal job. And Bill O'Brien also had the receivers and the personnel in there that should have been there. I mean, my gosh, was it frustrating last year with Kendrick Bourne specifically being in Matt Patricia's never-ending doghouse. It drove me crazy, and quite frankly, it was unacceptable and immature. And so I was happy that Bill O'Brien had Kendrick Bourne in there, and he had the right players in there. So that's the difference, and that is certainly promising. Mac Jones had a better demeanor. The team seemed more locked in and more sort of buying into what the offense, would be created. So overall, the Patriots, they won't be bad. That I could take from today's game, no doubt about it. The Patriot-Eagle game showed me that the New England Patriots will not be a bad team. But until the Patriots can orchestrate a comeback, the Patriots and Mac Jones orchestrate a comeback, that team will never be anything over average. That is just the truth. What makes a good team good is they can come back and fully complete the comeback. Not one of these make it interesting that the Patriots have done over the past couple of seasons. Fully completing the comeback. And outside of one game against the Houston Texans 2 years ago, and that Texan team shouldn't even have been in the NFL, they were that bad. Mac Jones has never led his team on a comeback. I won't speak for all fans, but I usually think when the Patriots are down more than 7, that the game is over. I certainly felt that way today. When I saw that score at 16-0, I didn't say, all right, here comes Mac Jones. Because quite frankly, he's not all that clutch. He just, he'll make some of the good plays, but when you need that one play, it's always so close yet so far with Mac Jones. And until that changes, it doesn't matter what his stats look like. 100 yards, 200 yards, 300 yards, 0 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns. It doesn't matter because Mac Jones will always be average, and therefore so will the Patriots.